What's up, guys? Just wanted to make a video for all you truck owners. Chevy truck, 2007 up to 2013, I believe. This style truck. I'm replaced my alternator with the Mechman alternator. It's a 250, and I was looking around on YouTube for kind of a how-to video on how to do it, and there really wasn't too many of this year, so I had to kind of do it on my own. I know there's an instruction paper that came with the Mechman alternator. There was just a few things that I wasn't too clear about, and it might have just been me, but I wanted to make this video to help anybody that has this style truck, tries to put the alternator, and there's a few things that you want to do to avoid any troubles. If I could save anybody from having trouble and making it a smooth install, that's what I want to do, because I've learned a lot from other YouTube videos, and I just want to make this one payback. So here's the alternator without talking forever. That's the alternator I replaced. Here's the battery setup. Right here, it's just your stock battery. A couple things. One of the most important things is the regulated voltage control. It's kind of hard to see. I don't know if you can see it. Let me get up here. There's a little ring in there that these 3 ground wires go through. It's a little plastic ring. You have to put the ground wire that you're adding through there. If you don't do that, your voltage is gonna go up and down too much. It is gonna fluctuate. It's just the nature of the alternator, to where when your battery is charged all the way, it doesn't require as much voltage. The regulated voltage control only puts out so much to keep it there, top it off. So that is going to happen, what's going to happen too is you're going to be in the 14 volt range mostly. You will get to 15 something when you first turn it on, and then when your battery gets fully charged, say highway use, you might see some 12.5s, low 13s. But I added this ground wire right here. This is the only ground wire that I added. It's a 2-gauge welding wire. It runs from the battery all the way over to the negative on the alternator. There's a spot here that says ground on the bracket, and it runs from the battery all the way around over to here. I put this lug on, and I made sure that it fit exactly over the post, like recommended. Having said that, the second most important thing that could affect your voltage and your install is the positive post. I ran a positive wire from the post. It's kind of hard to see. It goes under here. It's a 0 gauge running around through this 0 gauge through a fuse around to the positive side of the battery post. There's only 2 wires I added. Now the most critical thing on that is that Mechman gives you a lug that connects over onto the positive post of the alternator. Very important that you use that lug. That lug is the perfect fit right over their post. What it does is if it's too big and it moves around the post, you say you put one on, it's too big and there's too much play in there, too much movement, it's gonna create heat and it could cause a fire. I noted that was a mistake I did. I just said, that's not important, and I used my own lug. Put that on there, and I noticed things were getting really hot. I actually saw a little bit of smoke coming out from that spot, and I said, shoot, I'm gonna get a fire here. I gotta shut this down. So redid, thought about it for a day or two, went over the instructions again, talked to Mechman again, and finally got the clear things that I was doing wrong. And then as a result, I've had this alternator hooked up now for 2-3 weeks. Have not had a problem now. Everything's running the way it should. Voltage is up when you first turn it on. The regulator drops it down to 14s. You can drive around with the AC. Everything works great. Like I said, when you do go on the highway and your voltage, your battery's already charged, it does it on purpose. It lowers the voltage to where it's like, say, 12.5. Don't be alarmed on that. I know the older cars used to be 14 all the time, but this is not made like that. Computers in the cars nowadays, and they want things a certain way, and the reason Chevy put that is to save fuel, supposedly. So this alternator in particular was made for this year of truck. It didn't require a smaller belt. It had the exact pulley that the stock one did, so it was a plug and play, pretty simple. That's it. I didn't want to make a crazy long video, but I just wanted to help anybody that might be going through this process. Don't forget, use the lug Mechman gives you for the positive, and the negative, make sure you run it through that loop. It's kind of, I'll try to give you a shot of it here. There's a plastic ring right there behind that AC hose, and then there's that flex tube. It's right next to it. That 2-gauge welding wire goes right through it, along with the stock ground that goes to the engine frame down there. You can't see it. And then there's one other small little ground that goes to the frame over here. So that's 3 total grounds, 2 stocks, and 1 that I added, and they're all coming from the battery. Any ground coming from the battery needs to go through that hoop. That's critical. And Mechman tells you that you can put 1 0-gauge ground wire through there, and and not have the other 2 go through it. But I just kind of wanted to leave it more stock, and 2 gauges was adequate. So I haven't had problems since. So if this helps anybody, I'm glad. And thanks for watching the video, and I'll catch you on the next one.